Good morning and welcome to this next presentation at ABG Investor Days. My name is Simon Granat and I work as an equity analyst at ABG covering the tech and IT sector. And with us today we have the pleasure of welcoming Upsales and its CEO Daniel Wikberg and its CFO Elin Lundström, who will present the company for about 20 minutes, and then we will follow up with a shorter Q&A session. And with that said, Daniel and Elin, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thank you everybody for joining our presentation today. Our agenda for today's presentation is I will do a company presentation and talk a little bit about Upsales, our history and our growth strategy. Elin will then cover some of the financials from our latest report. So if we move to the next slide, introducing Upsales. Upsales, we are a software as a service company, and our mission is to help our customers find new opportunities and win more deals. And we do this by providing a sales and marketing tool, sales and marketing software, which is used by almost 2,000 companies in around 10 countries. The business has been around since 2003, and we listed the company in 2019 on Nasdaq First North. So let's move ahead to the next slide. I have a problem. I can only see half of my slide. Simon, is there some way to fix that?
You need to pin it, is what I'm hearing here. Right click and pin it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Perfect.
I've been running an IT company for 20 years, but still learning. Okay. So our business model at Upsales, we have always been a software as a service company. So we don't have any legacy products, and we've never sold the product as a client server based model. So our revenues are more than 90% of Upsales revenues are recurring subscription revenues, which is made up by our customers paying us an annual fee per user. And on top of that, we offer around 20 add-ons, which we sell to new and existing customers. And our philosophy is about investing in the product and investing in building scalability, so we can continue to be Upsales is a very streamlined organization, which is the reason why we have been able to grow the company profitable with organic growth for many years now. So let's move to the next slide. So for the last 12 months, Upsales has been focusing on an expansion towards the UK market. So we have customers in 10 countries, as I mentioned. Most of these clients have been customers who found us online, or existing customers who gave us referrals. So we never had a focus on, we never had a deliberate focus on sales and marketing efforts towards other markets than Sweden historically. But the last 12 months we have been working with a expansion towards the UK market. And the UK market it's a significant growth opportunity for Upsales. It's a market that's valued roughly 10 times the Swedish market. And it's still we are still in the early stage of our expansion, but we are closing deals every quarter. We're getting new UK customers every quarter, and in the last quarter, in Q3, we had kind of a breakthrough with more deals and higher contract values than we've had previously. So now we are in the phase of ramping up marketing and also hiring more people to the sales organization, which will be dedicated for the UK market. So if we go to the next slide. So I usually talk about three things that we are focusing on at Upsales, and the three core elements of our growth strategy. And this is probably, you know, the same three things that any SaaS company needs to do to grow and to become successful. So the first element, obviously, you can't get anywhere if you don't have a world-class product. So we invest a lot of money and time into building the world's best B2B sales software, which also helps us to grow existing accounts with more add-ons and more features. So the second part is growing the organization, scaling the sales team so we can cover a larger part of the market and win more new customers. The last 12 months, we have actually doubled the size of the organization, so we are growing quite aggressively. And the third element, which is also very critical, is making sure all our existing customers get value from Upsales and are satisfied and continue to renew their contracts and grow and buy more. So we invest a lot in customer success, in user adoption, to make sure that our customers are happy, successful, and continue to renew, which keeps our churn at a low rate. So let's go to the next slide. So the Upsales platform, it's made up of it's a combination of CRM, which helps sales teams to manage their customers and their sales process, and we also offer a marketing tool, which is used by our customers to drive digital marketing campaigns, to generate leads, and to help the sales team win more deals as well. Let's continue to the next slide. So the first part, we usually talk about find, win, grow when we talk about our product strategy. So the first part is finding new leads. And what we hear from our customers when we ask for feedback, one big part of Upsales is that we integrate to a lot of third-party data sources, which enables our customers to find all the data about their current and potential customers within Upsales. So all the companies in Sweden are available in Upsales, all the companies in the UK are available in Upsales. So if you want to find new customers, if you want to find companies that are similar to your best customers, you can do that all within Upsales. You don't have to buy any third-party tools to do that. And this is also an area where we invest a lot of money in AI algorithms to identify, by using the data about existing customers, identifying potential new customers, which helps all the Upsales users to become more effective when they are prospecting. So let's continue to the next slide. So the second part is about managing the pipeline and managing all the opportunities, and making sure that you maximize the value from your pipeline and win as many deals as possible. So here we also have a couple of investments in AI related stuff. So we help our customers to use the data about which deals did we win, which deals did we lose, and give users recommendations based on that, which enables them to become more effective and spend their time more wisely. So the third part, if we continue to the next slide, is about growing existing customers and growing existing accounts. And this is kind of we had a big launch a week ago. We're doing a lot of developments in this area. And I think this is an area which has, it's kind of been, most CRM providers has largely ignored this area. Most sales and CRM software out there focuses a lot on the acquisition process, on finding new business. But in reality, for most companies, a large portion of the growth actually comes from existing customers. So it's a very exciting area where we are investing a lot of money to help our customers, again, use their data to see which are the companies in our existing customer base who should be ready to buy more. Where can we find our upsell potential? So those are the 3 core areas, I would say, in the Upsales product. If we continue to the next slide. So the strategy we've adopted for the last almost 3 years now is a land and expand strategy. So we have tailored our pricing model and tailored our selling process to lower the threshold to become a new customer, to make it as easy as possible to buy from Upsales, and also as easy as possible for the sales team to sell, to bring in new clients. So on the land side, we are growing by scaling the sales team, hiring more sales reps and investing more in marketing. And when the customer is on board, when we have signed the first contract, the customer is handed over to our customer success team, which also is a quota carrying team with growth targets. So we are growing our customers in 2 ways. We are expanding the platform, as I mentioned when I talked about the product. So we are building more add-ons, which enables our customers to buy more and to grow the way they are using Upsales. And at the same time, we try to identify more areas within each customer that should be using Upsales, which also helps us increase our average contract value over time. And on kind of the softer side, if you look at some of the softer KPIs, what we have seen for the last year now, when we are investing more in the product, in more new roles in the customer success team, we also see that some of the operational KPIs, such as Net Promoter Score and customer satisfaction, are also improving, which is a predictor for future growth and future lower churn. So let's continue to the next slide. So some of the stuff we usually talk about when how I look at the company and how we are growing Upsales and how we want to continue to grow in the future. So we believe in investing a lot of time and effort in the sales organization to build best-in-class effectiveness, which leads to a quick return on our investments. So what this means in practice, it means that for many SaaS companies, you need to invest 5 million to get 1 million in ARR in the same quarter. That ratio at Upsales is around 1-to-1. So if we put 1 million kronor in sales and marketing, we get 1 million in ARR the same quarter, which is kind of the main explanation as to why we are able to accelerate our growth and still being profitable with positive cash flow. And as we are expanding internationally, we believe in building a truly international organization. We don't believe in having local subsidiaries or offices in 20 places around the world, or translating the product into 20 languages. So we're building an international team at our headquarters in Sweden, in Stockholm. And we also believe in scalability is something we talk a lot about at Upsales. So we believe that building a scalable product and a scalable organization means that you can continue being a streamlined organization, and you don't need to hire or build a large consulting team that has to solve the problems that the customers have. Those problems should be solved by the product. Since we have quite a good cash position, I usually get the question if we are looking at acquisitions. We do not believe in acquisitions. We believe in improving the product, and we see that we have a long runway of future growth, and we believe that our growth will continue to accelerate. And we like to have a focus and a simplicity in our organization, as opposed to having a scattered product portfolio, which you would probably end up with if we would go down that path. So let's continue to the next slide. So we have been accelerating our ARR growth for 5 quarters in a row. So the last 2 quarters, we grow our ARR with more than 30%, rolling 12 months. And I would say this is the result of the work we've done the last 3 years, when we've simplified the way we are working. We have improved our pricing model. We've invested a lot of money in the product, and at the same time growing the organization. We're very happy with the results we are seeing, and we expect to continue to grow at a high pace. So let's go to the next slide. And if you break it down, where is this growth coming from? So every year we start out with an existing ARR. On top of that, we get expansions from customers who grow organically, or we grow into more divisions or departments within our existing accounts. We also sign a lot of new clients. And on top of that, we sell our add-ons, which I talked about. So our add-ons enable our customers to expand their way of using Upsales into basically solving more problems. And we are also raising our prices. We've seen in the past that Upsales has a significant pricing power. So we think we will continue. We will be able to continue raising our prices without affecting customer satisfaction or churn. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now it's time for Elin and some of the financials.
Thank you, Daniel, and hello everyone. Let's continue to the next slide. Looking at the third quarter, our ARR was 103.6 million compared to 78.8 million during the same period last year. And the ARR growth during the quarter was 5.2 million and 31.4%. The net sales of Q3 was 22.4 million. Let's continue to the next slide. Looking at profitability, we had a EBITDA of 4.4 million, which is a 19.5% margin, a EBIT of 2.8 million, and a net income of 2.2 million. Let's continue to the next slide. Looking at cash flow, our operating cash flow was 3.4 million compared to negative 0.7 during the same period last year. And the cash flow of the period was 1.2 million. And we had a net cash of 52.6 million. Let's continue to the next slide. As Daniel mentioned, we do not believe in acquisitions, and our board has decided on a dividend policy, which says that 50% of free cash flow will be distributed to shareholders. Yes, let's continue to the next slide and the Q&A section.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Daniel and Elin. Initially, I'd like to ask on one hearing that I heard during presentation, where Daniel, you said that you have a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of investments and ARR or ARR growth. What makes you achieve these high numbers, would you say?
I mean, I think it's a lot about, as I said, we spend a lot of time and effort in improving everything we do in the sales team, in sales training and sales management. So a lot of it has to do with operational effectiveness and hard work, basically.
Okay, thank you. And you also mentioned that you are present in several countries. How important is it to be present in several countries, to have a broad land base to capture? Would you like to dig deeper in the current markets where you are currently present, or would you like to enhance this number even further in terms of number of countries you are present in?
No, I think that I mean, there's a potential of Upsales being 5 or even 10 times bigger in Sweden if you look at it on the long term. Why we are moving forward with the UK expansion is at some point you come to a point where it doesn't make sense to continue increasing the investments in the sales team and the marketing you're doing. So I think in Sweden we are still probably able to quadruple the size of the sales team and the marketing investments, but then we will come to a point where we will get diminishing returns on those investments. So that's why we are moving to the UK to make sure that when we come to that point, we have a plan and we are already we're already doing progress with a new market. And I think looking at Sweden and the UK, there's a runway for increasing revenue by 10 times for Upsales. So also related to what I talked about focus, because when you have two markets, you can focus the product and making sure that you are the absolute best alternative for the customers in those markets. And I think that's a lot harder if you are in 10 markets.
Thank you for a very good answer. Also, I'd like to ask on your view of using partners. Do you use any partners as it is right now, either through integration capabilities or sales partners, etc.? What do you think about partners overall?
So we don't have a channel strategy, and we don't get any sales from partners. However, we have sort of ecosystem partners. There are a couple of companies we integrate to, which are very important to us. So, for example, we have a couple of accounting and finance software, which is important to integrate to. And we also have our kind of third-party providers where we buy data, for example, which is also important for us. But on the sales side, on the acquisition side, partners is not a part of our strategy.
Okay. Thank you so much, both of you, for attending here today. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. If you have any final remarks that you would like to send to us, then please do so now.
Yeah, so I think Upsales, in many ways, we are still, at the beginning of our growth journey. So we're very excited for the years to come and then continue to watch the company grow and accelerate our growth.
Thank you so much, both. It was very exciting to have you here. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.